So, I've built a very successful business over the last 12 years or so. And I'm in the process of building a couple of other businesses. Now I have my fingers in a couple of businesses. So I've made a lot of money. We earned in our business in gross revenue, it was like over $30 million in a decade. So it was a successful business. And yet, do you know that the entire time I was the main salesperson, selling from the stage, selling online, front person, that entire time I didn't have any control over the money. Now, this is not to blame anybody in my company at all, because I had a very loving and intelligent and incredible business partner that was always encouraging me to look at the books and that kind of thing. But I never did in 10 years. So I'm making these millions of dollars. And yet anytime I would be faced with how the money was being spent, I was like, oh, just take care of it and just give me what you think I'm worth. 10 years. 10 years. So millions coming in. And I remember, actually, I haven't told this story publicly. I was at my own mastermind and I wanted to help my dad out, who he has a parenting program called Raising Resilient Kids that he wanted to get out. And I remember at the mastermind sitting next to my business partner, my male business partner, who handled all the money and all the cash flow and the spreadsheets and all of that. And I remember kind of breaking into tears and saying, oh, I really wish I had enough money to buy my dad, to get my dad's business set up for him, because he was in his late 60s, early 70s. And I was kind of teary. And my business partner looked at me and he said, do you even know what our annual revenue is? And I was like, you and I need to have a talk at the break. And we went and had a talk. And he said, do you even know how much money we make, or how much you have access to? I had no idea, after 8 years in our business, that we were already above the 5 million in revenue mark, that the money that I had that was being set aside, that was coming to me, was more than enough to get my dad's business going. This was in front of all of our clients. That's how oblivious I was. I was fine to make it. But then as soon as it came in, there was some major, major block. Okay, so the reason I'm sharing this is because I'm a very intelligent woman. I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in education. I have traveled multiple countries around the world. I've lived in multiple different countries. I have gone through therapy and counselor training and like workshops and seminars and books. And so I consider myself an intelligent woman. And yet here, still, this thing with the money was really a block for me. And I remember, ironically, year 10, we decided to start to pivot our business, and our business is in a big pivot right now. In 45 minutes, my business partner taught me how to read our cash flow. 45 minutes. I went through it. I was like, well, this is easy. Why did I not do this before? And I couldn't understand it until, of course, reading your book, realized that was one of my adaptations, that actually knowing what was happening with the money. My job was just to make it, but not to actually handle it. I wasn't smart enough to do that. That wasn't for me. And then I dragged that pattern into my next business, where I started to see before my very eyes the same pattern unfolding, where I was in charge of a lot of the revenue generation, but still didn't have control over like how it was being allocated. And so that was actually the beginning of when I decided to incorporate Female Strong. I went to my lawyer. I didn't really know what I was doing. I incorporated Female Strong. I said, that's it. I need my own bank account. I need my own checkbook. I need my own incorporation, my own book. I need to have some money that's coming into me that I make, that I control. And it was a huge piece of it. And because I've been doing a little bit, conversation with you. And so I wanted to share with the group this, because it happens even to intelligent, accomplished women. And I will say that since I have started unpacking it, reading your book, talking with you, talking with other women, looking, really taking a look at what's driving me, this past month, I have had the most lucrative personal month with money coming into my bank account that I've had in probably 5 or 6 years. And even before, if I did have a good month like this, I didn't control the money. But this, now I've had a lucrative month. It's come in and I get to allocate where it goes. So anyway, I definitely want to give you props for that. Again, because I am an intelligent woman, so it can happen to the best of us. So if there's women out there thinking that there's shame, or like, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I did. It happens to the best of us. Yes. And you can shift it. And so I feel like this is the phase I'm in right now, is this idea of having my prison guards now start to act as bodyguards.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I want to add one other thing, and then we'll go to your next stage. But On page 33 of the book, I have everything marked. It says, throughout this book, I'll show you how to hold on to your joy as though your life depends on it, because it does. And I cried so hard when I read this. I just thought, oh my God, my life depends on my joy. And now I can use those old prison guards are now my bodyguards, and they're my bodyguards for my joy. That's the assignment I've given them. I'm like, hey, you guys, you are now in charge of my joy. I'm reassigning you. You just got a promotion, kind of. So anyway, I wanted to share that because I think it's really powerful, this shift from prison guard to bodyguard.